Let me save you 30 years of frustration as a speaker. Watch this. How many of you know people who are talented speakers? People who know all about their subject. They've got charisma. They've got a business. They practice their speaking, but no one else knows who they are. They haven't got invitations. They don't have any stage opportunities. They've got no recognition. And it's not because they aren't good enough. It's because they aren't visible enough. You know, people, that was me. I've got 30 years as a speaker and visibility coach. And why am I passionate about that? Because I've been there, I've done it, I know what it's like. When I first started 30 years ago, I knew what I was talking about. I knew how to help people speak. I knew how to influence and inspire people. I started my business and I thought all I had to do was sit there and people would come and see me. People would ask me to come and speak. They would want to book me on their stages. They would flood me with their phone calls, with their invitations. But it didn't happen. And why? Because I stayed hidden. I was in my comfort zone. I was easy with what I was doing. And I thought all I had to do was be ready. I didn't realize that I had to stick my hand up. I had to shout. There were zillions of other people doing exactly what I was doing. And if I didn't stand up and shout that I had a message, that I had something to say, people would not know. And that's exactly what happened. So let's have a look at how we can change that, how I worked to change it. And maybe some of my story might help you who's sitting there thinking, I have a brilliant message. I have a fantastic book. I have an absolutely awesome business, but no one is booking me to speak. No one is asking me. All I'm hearing are crickets. So let's have a look at what I discovered in my journey and how I changed some of that. I felt that I wasn't ready in some respects. I still had to work on my speaking. I still had to polish something. But I was so busy polishing. I was so busy worrying about being ready that I wasn't getting anywhere. Readiness isn't a requirement. I discovered it becomes an outcome of visibility. What I realized was the more I spoke, the more confident I became, the more ready I became. So don't wait until you're ready. Confidence grows after you show up, not before. The more you show up, the more ready you're going to be. The more ready you're going to be in that respect of that confidence and showing up, the more visible you're going to become. The second thing that I realized as I was going through my journey is that if I'm good enough, I'll be discovered. I can speak. I had a message. I had expertise. I had experience. I had stories. As I said, 30 years ago, that was me sitting there expecting that I'll be discovered just because I had all of that. Visibility doesn't work like that. That's what I realized. People can't book you. They can't refer you. They can't promote you as speaker if they never, ever see you. So don't wait to be asked. Visibility grows when you stop waiting for invitations. That's what I did when I suddenly realized what was happening. That if I wanted to stand out, if I wanted to have my uniqueness be seen, I had to get out there and speak. So I started doing videos. I spoke at networking events. I said yes to small stages. I took a deep breath and started to speak. And you know what? When I did that, opportunities came after people saw me speaking, not before. I had to let them see who I was. I had to give them a teaser. No one is going to book you if they don't know who you are, if they haven't seen you do some speaking, if they haven't been able to go somewhere to see a sample video, to see what you're doing on Facebook Live, or seen you speaking at networking events or online summits. They book you after they see you speaking. That's when the opportunities come. So take a deep breath. Speak before you're asked. Get out there. That's what I did. And that's when I discovered that when people had seen me and knew what I was doing, then the opportunities came. Then, of course, it's the mindset. It's a big one. We often talk about fear of speaking. We talk about overcoming that fear of speaking. But you know what? Quite often it's a fear of judgment. Quite often it's that imposter syndrome, which we hear all about now. Didn't have a term when I was there around 30 years ago. I just was afraid that people would discover that maybe I didn't know everything, that maybe I didn't know what I was doing. And that's the fear of not being good enough or being too good, the fear of success. That's what was stopping me. You need to own who you are. You need to believe in who you are. As I say, you need to be the unicorn in your business. You need to own your uniqueness. You need to step out from behind your book, behind your brand, behind your business, and give that a voice. I overcame that judgment fear, that fear of success, that fear of imposter syndrome with my 60 seconds of insane courage. That's 20 seconds to acknowledge all of that negativity that was biting away and pulling me back. 20 seconds to change that mindset, to understand and say to myself, I am awesome. I have stories. I believe in myself. People need to hear what I've got to say. And then 20 seconds to smile and say yes to opportunities, to step up, to speak, to allow myself to be seen. Don't let fear stop you. We work to overcome that fear of speaking, but there's those other fears that mostly are the ones that stop us from being seen. Because we overcome the fear of speaking. We create our keynote presentation. We know how to entice the audience in. But unless we get up and overcome that fear of judgment, imposter syndrome, that fear of not being good enough, we're not going to allow ourselves to be visible. And that's what we need to do. We have to be visible. So the people that need to hear us need to access our expertise and our talent, know how to find us and can see us. The fourth thing I had an issue with when I was working on my speaking journey was I didn't realize for quite a while that I spoke about topics, about credentials, about experience, but I should have been speaking about transformation, impact, my difference, my uniqueness. And I realized that that's what event organizers were looking for. Outcomes, not resumes, but how I could change or add value to the people in their audiences. So I switched from resumes. I switched to talking about my unique difference. I switched to talking about the outcomes, what I had to say, how that could change people and add value to their audiences. And then I realized that I got caught up in preparation. I'm a really great perfectionist, or at least I was so busy crafting what I wanted to do, crafting my slides, crafting my courses, crafting my keynote presentation, wanting everything to be perfect, but not taking that next step. And so many of us do that. We get caught up in wanting that perfection. And one of my mentors said to me, you need to take imperfect action. And if you want to be visible, if you want to be found, if you want to be able to reach those people who need to hear what you've got to say, then my challenge to you is take imperfect action, because perfection leads to stagnation. Perfection doesn't allow you to grow. Visibility comes from action, not perfection. And that's scary for those of us who like to have everything all nicely created. Take a deep breath, let it go. As I said to my mentoring clients, your audience doesn't know what you're going to say next. 95% of the people in your audience do not have an idea of how your presentation's going to go. So if you change something, if you forget a word, if you find that you aren't as perfect in what you crafted, they're not going to know. Imperfect action puts you in front of them. And that's where you want to be, visible and in front of them. You can have the best message in the world, but if you are not seen, you're not going to get there. And the last thing I want to share with you, it's being consistent. It's standing up and doing it one moment after another, doing one speaking gig after another, sharing stories from your speaking journey, talking about the lessons, not just achievements. Consistency builds familiarity. Share your stories from your speaking journey. As I've shared with you today, my speaking journey. Yeah, it would have been easy to sit here in front of you and tell you I'm perfect and this is what I've been doing. But I'm not perfect. I just get up and speak. I take a deep breath. I let you see what I'm doing and I show you what I've been doing and how I've learned it, so that you too will realize that you can do that. You too can be visible. You too can open the curtains and create that connection. Visibility isn't about doing something huge. It's about doing small things consistently. Let me leave you with this one story. One of my clients said to me, I know I'm good, but no one seems to notice me. And I asked her this one question that was asked of me when I first started. Where are you showing up so people can notice you? And you know what? She said exactly what I did at that time. I'm not. I'm still waiting until I feel ready. And that's the moment it clicked for me. And it's the moment it clicked for her. And I hope you've realized that that's the moment it's going to click for you, because it's not a talent issue. It's really not a competence issue. By now, you're confident. It's a visibility issue, because there's no getting around it, people. The world cannot benefit from a voice it never hears. Take a deep breath. Come out from behind your masks. Come out from behind your brand. Come out from behind your perfection. Come out from behind your book. Give your brand, give your business, give your expertise a voice. Your visibility is your responsibility. The moment you choose to be seen, that is the moment that you will be seen. And that is the moment when everything changes. That's my challenge to you. I hope that sharing some of my little story, some of the challenges that I've had, will help you overcome your challenges. My passion is for each and every person that I touch to be able to see me, hear me, find me. Every time I get up to speak, I overcome my fears. I'm an introvert, people, but I'm an introvert that knows how to get out there and speak, because I realized that if I want people to see my knowledge, I want people to see my expertise and hear my stories, I have to take a deep breath and realize it doesn't matter if I don't know who I've touched. I do know that one person out there who has heard me speak, read my books, seen me speak, heard me on a podcast, needed to hear those words that I had at that particular moment. And if I wasn't stepping up and being visible, they would never hear those words. So if you don't get up and be visible, those people aren't going to hear your words. How sad is that?
And every story can change the world. Together we are Global Speakers Talk.